Tor, good to see you. Evening, how you doing? Pure, good to see you as well. Evening, how you doing? How you been? Joe, good to see you as well. How you doing? Evening. Kerry, good to see you as well. What up, Miles? What up, CMF? Let's go, Kerry. How you doing, brother? How you been? Come on, good to see you as well, brother. How you doing? How you been? Are you still in Germany? Yes, I'm still in Germany. Did you seal the deal? Up to a certain extent, yes. Not fully, but up to a certain extent, yes. There's still some things to hash out in terms of contracts, but so far, so good. Hi, Miles. We missed you. Tell us everything. Let's go, Vibe. How you doing? I missed the live show as well. I missed everyone. It felt weird not doing the live show on that particular time that I do. It felt very weird not doing the live show. I did miss everyone. Missed your brother. Miles, welcome back. Comatose, good to see you. So how you doing? Morning, my friend. I missed you, lol. Let's go, Shelly. Shelly, happy birthday as well. How you doing, Shelly? How you been? Hi, Miles. Hope you've had a successful trip. So far, so good. Let's go, Mike. Hey, Miles. How you doing? I'm doing great. How you doing, Daniel? How you been? Hi, Miles. Hope you're having a good trip. Let's go, Dennis. Manny, good to see you. So how you doing? How you been? George, good to see you. So how you doing? How you been? Missed everyone. I'll be honest. It was very awkward not doing the live show. It felt weird. It's just when it reaches that certain time during the day, it's just instantly I go do the live show. But it felt so weird not doing the live show. What up, man? What are you thinking about? Lol, crypto? Yes, definitely crypto. Now you cannot say you've been doing the live for X number of days straight. You have to start all over again from one. Thanks, Miles. Let's go, Chelly. Hi, Miles. Good to see you today as well. Troy, good to see you as well. How you doing? You look well rested, Miles. Yes, definitely. I was awake for about 24 hours, pretty much yesterday. Day before I didn't sleep, and then today finally get some sleep in the morning. Troy, let's go. How you doing? How you been? Pablo, let's go. Mike, let's go as well. Good, Miles. I know CMF. Guess to see you, Miles. Yes, it was weird. Yes, it was very weird. I did miss everyone. Honestly, did miss everyone from the CMF. I missed the live show and I missed everyone in the live show. So, but we are back. On tonight's live show, we have quite a mixture of news to go through from the Biden and Trump debate that's going to be happening. Is crypto going to be involved? The CBDC is going to be involved. Also, who are the people backing Trump and Biden? I have some information and news to go through on that aspect as well. So on tonight's live show, we are going to be talking about Trump and Biden regarding the debates they might be having regarding cryptocurrency, CBDCs, and so on. We're also going to be talking about Solana on tonight's live show as well regarding the partnership that's going on between WorldCoin and Solana. We're going to be talking about Coinbase and a possible hacked scenario that's going on as well, possible compromisation scenario with Coinbase. We're also going to be talking about tonight's live show regarding Chainlink and Avalanche coming together in terms of data. We're going to be talking about Galaxy Digital's perspective on the Ethereum ETFs that are going to be soon launching next month. We're also going to be talking about tonight's live show regarding Vitalik Buterin and a new project that he's backing on Ethereum. We're also going to talk about MicroStrategy on tonight's live show as well, going into AI. And we're going to be going through on tonight's live show regarding BlackRock. So BlackRock's premier fund is embracing IBIT and a big win for Bitcoin still. We're also going to be going for tonight's live show regarding Sui Copper as well. Sui Copper's relationship to enhance institutional adoption. A lot of institutional adoptions are going on right now. We're going to be going through the former Coinbase advisor who's joining the Biden administration. Biden's trying to seem like he's more crypto friendly, going up against Trump right now in possibly a crypto debate, CBDC debate. We know Trump is definitely going to bring up the topic of crypto, and we know that there's a reason why Biden's bringing a Coinbase person up on their side regarding crypto debates. We're also going to be going through Wall Street news today as well, how basically Wall Street is embracing altcoins like the new Solana ETF that's happening. We're going to be talking about tonight's live show also regarding China and how their ban on cryptocurrencies might be coming to an end as well. El Salvador educating students on Bitcoin mining and cryptocurrencies. We're going to talk about the development that will cripple the SEC. Some good news on the SEC to go from tonight's live show as well. Something that might be crippling the SEC's advantages that they do have in courts. We're going to be going through how Ripple is exploring new horizons with their stablecoins as well, and the potential of the XRP ETF, something that was mentioned by Monica Long. We're going to be going through the S&P 500 on tonight's live show as well. The S&P 500 is going to become tokenized. They're having conversations with Singapore. So, mixture of news to go through on tonight's live show. Some bullish, some informative, and some prospective news to go through. And also basically the debate news to go from tonight's live show as well. So, if you are watching this for the first time ever, welcome to the CMF live show. If you're we normally on this live show we talk about cryptocurrencies. So recent news that's happening around the world, we talk about cryptocurrencies, CBDCs, AI, regulations, policies. And the disclaimer of this live show, as always, is not financial advice, not political advice, and whatever I say is only for entertainment purposes. And we also do Q&As as well, which means if you have any questions, put it down inside the comment section. I'll be more than happy to answer the questions you may have. I read everybody's comments one by one. So if you're tuning in for the first time, welcome to the CMF live show. If you're a regular, let's go CMF. We did miss you all, I'll be very honest. And yeah, the live show has officially started now. Before we go through the first news, let's go back inside the comment section first, and then we go to the first news. So, good evening, Miles, the CMF for forever. Good to see you. So, how you doing? Great to see you, Miles. Hoped everybody in CMF is doing well. Let's go, Jules. What do you think about IOI? I would have to look in Roman. I would have to look into to see what partnerships they have to give a better perspective on that crypto project. Let's go, Trump. Let's go, JP. Hit us with some updates, please. Yes, Kerry, we have a lot of updates to go through. Hey, Miles and CMF, welcome back, brother. Let's go, Solomon. Evening, Miles and CMF. Hope your trip is going well. It's going very good so far. Good evening, Professor Miles and the CMF. Funky brother, good to see you. So how you doing? I think we all missed you, brother Miles. I missed everyone as well. Everyone. Evening, Miles and family. Hope everything went well. Ian, good to see you as well. How you doing? How you been? By the way, thank you so much to everyone that's been retweeting this live show right now on X as well. I'm getting notifications. Thank you so much to everyone that's been retweeting. Also, thank you so much to everyone that's been liking the live show as well. So, first news to go from tonight's live show is regarding obviously the Trump and Joe Biden debate to go through. So, will Biden and Trump face off over crypto? There's a possibility that Biden and Trump are going to be talking about crypto. If Joe Biden doesn't bring up the idea of cryptocurrencies or CBDCs, we know for a fact Trump is going to mention it somewhere down the line. So, the amount of airtime that crypto gets during this debate that's going to happen today between President Joe Biden and the former President Donald Trump could sway a significant slice of single-issue voters. The regulatory treatment of digital assets has become a rallying cry for former President Trump, who flipped the Bitcoin skeptics to crypto president in recent weeks. Trump is right now very well known as the crypto president. He's named it himself. Yet many wonder whether Trump, alongside talks, will push for crypto in front of millions of Americans. I think there's a high possibility that Trump will definitely push cryptocurrencies when he does come into power. Who knows who's going to become president? Now, traders on decentralized predictions market Polymarket are penciling in a 61% chance as of this writing that Trump mentions Bitcoins or crypto during this debate. So far, the wager has essentially gathered about $127,000 in bets alongside other words that Trump could utter into his mic. So Polymarket is basically a website where crypto traders go to put some interesting bets down, and there's quite a lot of bets down that Trump is going to be mentioning cryptocurrencies or CBDCs. I don't personally, I think they're going to be mentioning either wise. You don't have to really put a bet down. We know for a fact Trump will mention it if Biden doesn't. Also, Biden hired a new Coinbase member to be on his administration whilst going on a debate with Trump. So for Biden to maybe seem like he's ready to talk about cryptocurrencies, even though he has no clue what blockchain is. Now, hosted by CNN, Trump may leverage the debate as a high-profile opportunity to skewer the Biden administration treatment of digital assets. Under current leadership, the industry has faced an uptick in scrutiny that emerged after the crypto exchange FTX collapsed in 2022. Lawsuits brought against major crypto firms like Coinbase under the Securities and Exchange Commission, Biden-appointed Chairman Gary Gensler, and it also has ruffled feathers across the industry, with Gary Gensler pretty much suing every crypto platform out there. Since then, the former president has started accepting crypto donations, from calling more bitcoins to be made in the US during the latter experience. Trump essentially disavowed central bank digital currencies as well, a digital form of currency that soon could be outweighed inside the United States by central banks. Meanwhile, the Biden administration has clashed with crypto miners. A year ago in the White House, defunded a proposal that would have put 30% excess tax on electricity consumed by Bitcoin mining farms. The abrupt approval of spot Ethereum ETFs in May, or however, left analysts speculating that political pressure was motivating factors behind the last minute about the face-off. Regarding the reports, yes, I do also believe that there was definitely political pressure on Gary Gensler to give a green light on Ethereum ETFs, because the timing was, you could say, coincidental. or coordinated. So still Biden backed the SEC when he voted the bill last month and set the erase guidance for banks on custodian digital assets. Known as essentially the Staff Accounting Bulletin, SAB 121, Biden ruled that he would not support measures that jeopardize the well-being of consumers and investors, while the SEC's guidance was utterly upheld, with the language in Biden's statement suggesting that he and Trump may agree on crypto-related matters. Apparently, according to Biden, according to Biden, this is Trump and Biden are on the same page when it comes to cryptocurrencies. Don't see that happening. My administration is eager to work with the Congress to ensure comprehensive and balanced regulatory frameworks for digital assets. This is what Biden has written. All of a sudden, Biden is pro crypto. This is what he's saying. My administration is eager to work with the Congress to ensure a comprehensive and balanced regulatory framework for digital assets. Biden wrote. When it says Biden wrote, it means whoever wrote it for Biden, because Biden can't write or read. We all know that for a fact. Now, adding that it would help reinforce United States leaderships and the global financial system. If cryptocurrencies do help, in fact, the United States relationship with cryptocurrencies and boost the global financial system, then why is Biden being stifling essentially cryptocurrencies with the help of Gary Gensler? Should be the first question Trump should ask Biden. Honestly, because so far Biden has been stifling cryptocurrencies with the help of Gary Gensler. So with him coming out last minute, going up against Trump, making this ridiculous speech, the United States should be the head of cryptocurrencies and the global financial system should be inside the United States. This is all the things that Biden's saying last minute, going up against Trump. And I don't believe a word of it. Honestly, we all know for a fact Biden can't sit, stand, read, talk, walk, run, but somehow he comes up with this statement last minute. So yeah, the debate should be interesting if Biden doesn't get lost on the way to the debate. Now, the next news to go for on tonight's live show is regarding Solana. Solana will get support for WorldCoin's World ID. Now, on this live show, I've personally talked about how going into a digital world, your data is absolutely key. It's the biggest thing that you have going into a digital world, and you should never sell off your data quite easily. Now, WorldCoin was a project that was also essentially started by Sam Altman, and it's about selling off your data through WorldCoin. Now, WorldCoin is going to be shifting over to Solana as well. Let's see how that goes with Solana's congestion. But we're going to go through that on tonight's live show next. But before we go through that, let's go inside the comment section first. It seems like you have been away for so long. Let's go from your brother. Ian, let's go as well. How you doing? Trump is what Cathy says. So, WorldCoin's World ID is set to expand the Solana ecosystem. After a Wormhole Labs received an approximately $70,000 in fundings from the WorldCoin Foundation, Sam Altman's WorldCoin has the range last summer as the project's co-founder claimed that people were enrolling every 8 seconds on average. By Sam Altman saying every 8 seconds on average, people are enrolling into WorldCoin, it just shows you how backwards this world is, that people are selling off their data for about $20 worth of WorldCoin. In an attempt to push the project back into the public perspective, the WorldCoin Foundation launched a grant program which sets aside 830,000 worth of World tokens to be funding the project. One of those projects is cross-chain and protocol Wormhole, which intends to essentially bring WorldCoin's World ID to Solana blockchain. Wormhole transfers data and assets across 30 blockchains so far, including Solana, Ethereum, and Binance Smart Chain. This latest move will bring WorldCoin's World ID, originally built on Ethereum and laid to scaling Optimism network, to Solana. World ID's technology is at the core of the WorldCoin project. By scanning your eye using of the WorldCoin's orb, essentially, you are given an iris code, which is then used to generate a World ID. This process is done to prove your personhood and eliminate the possibility that you're a robot as a response to the rapid advance in artificial intelligence. Once you've been approved you're a real person, you can use the World app. This will allow users to reveal information about themselves while remaining private through the platform's ID system. On top of this, the WorldCoin app doubles as a crypto wallet, allowing users to store Bitcoin, Ethereum, and USDC. Wormhole is now aiming to enable Solana-based protocols to verify users' World IDs that were originally verified on Ethereum. For this to happen, basically, a new Solana smart contract will leverage Wormhole's queries, a cross-chain data retrieval service. So, WorldCoin is going to be expanding onto the Solana chain, and with the amount of morons that are going to most likely be joining onto WorldCoin, selling their data for about $20 worth of WorldCoin, this could be interesting. Also, the interesting part is going to be Solana's congestion, because as we know for a fact, Solana is not very rapid in any sort of a way. I mean, I tried to do a Solana payment, as I previously told you guys, and it failed about 11 times before the payment went through. So that should be interesting regarding WorldCoin creating more essentially congestion on Solana's chain. But yeah, WorldCoin is expanding onto Solana. Let's see how that one plays out for them. Now, the next news to go from tonight's live show is regarding Coinbase. So apparently Coinbase might be compromised, but Coinbase doesn't want to admit to it because it's a company that, as a third party, they handle the people's IDs and informations and driving license and passport. So when you sign up to Coinbase, you would have to give your driving license or your passport or something like that. And apparently, the company that Coinbase is using as a third party to store all this information has just become compromised. But Coinbase is apparently coming out and saying, no, we're not compromised in any sort of a way. But the company itself is saying, yes, we're compromised. So we're going to go through that next. But before we go through that, let's inside the comment section first. Mouse, Coinbase will not do a merger with the ASI, so I'm not sure whether I should. Oh, welcome back, Mouse. Hey, CMF. Stormy, good to see you as well. How you doing? How you been? Missed you, Mouse. Sorry, Mouse, you missed my comment about the BTC wallets going back up. David, good to see you as well. How you doing? BTC comments. BTC Shelly, let's see what your comment was. Shelly, your last comment was, morning, my friend. I missed you long. And then you said, thanks, Mouse. And then you said, Mouse, you missed my comment about the BTC wallet. Shelly, retype your comment about the BTC wallets because for some reason it disappeared. And Stormy, good to see you as well. How you doing? How you been? Mouse, Coinbase will not do the merger for the ASI. Missed you as well. Mouse, Coinbase will not do the merger for the ASI, so I am not sure whether I should sell my 3 AI coins or just send them to another exchange. Binance will do the merger. So if you want, maybe use Binance for the merger. Sleeping, been talking debate classes to improve his ability to stay awake. Happy Pisces, good to see you as well. How you doing? How you been? Take your world app and shove it. Let's go in. Hello, Miles and everyone. Happy birthday, Shelly. Let's go, LJ. How you doing? So, next news. Is essentially Coinbase compromised or not? Coinbase not aware of any customer data breach after an AU10 ticks credential leak. Basically, today, crypto exchange Coinbase has denied any knowledge of a breach of its customer data associated with the AU10 ticks compliance platform that they do use. The statement follows a report that claimed AU10 ticks employees' credentials have been leaked on Telegram. The AU10 ticks' website shows the Coinbase logo, seemingly implying that Coinbase is one of its clients as well. We are not aware of any Coinbase data exposure at this time, and we will continue to monitor the situation, a Coinbase representative told Cointelegraph. According to the third party company, they are compromised. But according to Coinbase, that uses this third-party company, Coinbase is not compromised. A EU10 ticks is basically an identifier verification platform that claims to be used by Fiverr, TikTok, Uber, X, Coinbase, and many other platforms. It stores users' photo IDs and other identifying information on behalf of the platforms it serves. Now, a representative from AU10X clarified that an employee's credentials were leaked, which meant that the personal identifier information data was potentially accessible. However, based on the current findings, we see no evidence that the data has been exploited in any way. Now, the 404 media reported that the compliance platform exposed a set of administration credentials online for more than a year, potentially allowing hackers to access their sensitive information. The credentials, essentially regarding sensitive data, had reportedly been discovered by cybersecurity firms, essentially Spider Slick, which found them on Telegram. The credentials may have been obtained by an attacker who infected AU10 ticks employee's computer with malware. A Spider Silk security researcher was reportedly able to access the customer data from at least one of the platform's clients using the credentials, proving that the data was accessible to anyone who possessed the leaked credentials. The data included the person's name, date of birth, nationality, identification number, and the type of documents uploaded, such as driver's license, passports, and so on. A link within the data also led to actual images of American driver's licenses, and reports stated an AU10X representative told Cointelegraph that the credentials have now been completely removed and the customer data can no longer be accessed through them. In addition, they claimed that essentially after a detailed security review that concluded there was no malicious activity and no data leakage from the system. Do you know what's extremely confusing about this whole scenario is that Coinbase claims there's no hack. The third-party company that holds all of essentially Coinbase's information in terms of customers says it was compromised. And then they said nobody was harmed, but we got compromised. And then a cybersecurity company checked, and there was compromisation, and there was people's information is being leaked. High-profile people within that company. Now, with that high-profile leak, they can use it to find out customers' credentials as well. And the compliance platform has also taken further steps to make sure an incident like this does not occur again. The representative stated, we discontinued the relative operational systems and replaced it with a more secure system. We are reviewing our system and security procedures and are hardening security controls across all ITS assets. We appointed a dedicated team to constantly monitor for any future activities. AU10 AU10 ticks claim that it complies and will continue to comply with the highest industry standards, market demands, and recent best practices. Coinbase did not confirm or deny whether using AU10 ticks to store customer data, but it did state that it is unaware of any breaches as customer data from the incident reported. Most jurisdictions require centralized crypto exchanges to perform know your customers verifications, which includes asking customers for images of their driver license or passport. Supporters argue that this practice is necessary to prevent exchanges from being used for money laundering, but critics argue that the practice violates user privacy. Now, obviously, the exchanges would be using that type of system to make sure there is money laundering. However, the confusion of the story is that the third party company says we were compromised. Coinbase says we're not compromised. And then the third party company, after Coinbase saying we're not compromised, the third party company comes out and goes, we were compromised, but nobody's compromised. And then the cybersecurity company comes in the middle of this and goes, nope, you were compromised and people's data were leaked. So is Coinbase compromised and they're just being very quiet about it? And why did the third party company change their opinion all of a sudden and said, no, we're not compromised, after saying they were? So the question remains, is Coinbase compromised? If it is, get your assets off it. Not financial advice in any sort of a way, but my own personal opinion for myself, because the last thing I want to do is be compromised on Coinbase. Now, Chainlink is coming onto Avalanche. Chainlink data stream launches on Avalanche's mainnet with GMX version 2. This is going to help Avalanche quite a lot to grow its adoption. But what is interesting is that why is Chainlink's data being streamed on Avalanche and not on Chainlink themselves? Because Chainlink, does have the capabilities to be able to handle data. But why is Chainlink's data streaming on Avalanche's mainnet with GMX version 2? Avalanche is, to be honest, an incredible platform. That is why JP Morgan has decided to go essentially to Avalanche for subnet green, and why Citibank did the same thing, and why maybe Chainlink is going to be storing their data on Avalanche's mainnet for GMX version 2. So this should be interesting. Now, before we go through that news, because it is big news for essentially Avalanche, quite a lot of money is going to bring in an adoption. But before we go through that news, let's go to the comment section first. So, we were take on the BTC from wallet transfer to exchanges after being dormant since 14 years. Yes, what's my take on the BTC wallet that's been transferred to exchanges after being on dormant for 14 years? So, particularly, there's quite a lot of wallets that are recently popping up, a lot of Bitcoin wallets. And I keep on seeing on the news, a Bitcoin wallet that was dormant for 7 years came out of nowhere, reactivated. 9 years, reactivated. 10 years, reactivated. In this case, 14 years, reactivated. This particular one, the 14-year one that just reactivated their Bitcoin wallet, has about 50 Bitcoin inside of it, and it's going to be sent, some has been sent to Binance. Now, there's a possibility of that happening as a sale. Is it going to affect the market space? Not that much in any sort of a way. Now, because the outflows and inflows are pretty much balancing itself right now. But regarding that wallet that's been activated, what my take is on it. Sometimes those wallets do belong to regular people, but sometimes they're also government wallets that, governments spread out their assets in multiple wallets. Companies do the same thing as well, so do hedge funds. So the timing of it seems interesting-ish, but I've seen quite a lot of dormant wallets coming into the picture. Now, are they preparing to sell? Most likely, that's where they're getting activated, because if they're not selling, then they're going to be holding on. But also remember that when it comes to crypto or trading in general, it's all about sometimes psychological as well. Sometimes these wallets would send certain amount of Bitcoin or certain amount of cryptocurrencies to an exchange, knowing that their wallets are being tracked and they don't sell. Sometimes it comes to a psychological factor as well, as are they going to sell? Is that why you sent to Binance? Because or not. Sometimes they don't sell because there's an indication of a sell-off happening and people will panic and sell before everything happens. But yeah, my general take is it reminds me of any other wallet that's been turning on. I've heard the 9-year wallet that's just been turned on Bitcoin, an 8-year wallet that's been turned on Bitcoin. I've heard of a 15-year, 16-year wallet, not 15 years, 16, but a 14, quite a lot actually. And this recent one that was 14 was at 50 Bitcoin inside of it. But yeah, data is the new oil, quote Miles. Serious dealings going on. Yes, there is. Our information is up for sale on the dark web. Systems can't work if we're all compromised, which is a fair point and it's facts. But yeah, Shelly, it's like any other wallet pretty much just happening. Just seems like there's a few happening. Do you know something we don't? Do I know something you don't? Personally, I share everything that I do know. I never keep any information hidden at all. I'll never keep any information hidden from any member of the CMF. But sometimes I do have some thoughts of maybe something's happening, maybe something's not happening. But even then, I would still share it on the CMF or share it inside a Telegram group as well. But with all these wallets turning on, there could be indications of sell-offs. Maybe even possibly. Okay, so the simplest way to do it is look at the timeline. The timeline is next month. I revealed on this live show on episode 97. I revealed something on this live show around episode 97, which is about 2 days ago. So 2 days ago on this live show, I told everyone the news that MT Gox is going to be refunding everybody starting next month. According to MT Gox, they're going to start refunding everybody next month. So with this wallet essentially turning back on, and quite a lot of Bitcoin wallets that were not touched for about good 10 years or more, suddenly turning back on. Are they preparing to sell before the MT Gox refund situation starts? Because if people start getting refunds from MT Gox, they're most likely going to sell off their Bitcoins, which will pressure the market on a bearish type of situation. So with these doormat wallets, are they turning on to sell before MT Gox starts refunding everyone? That's also an indication as well. As to do they know something that's not you? As to their reasonings. Yeah, that could be one of their reasonings. MT Gox, the biggest exchange, possibly at one time inside the crypto space, 900 and something thousand bitcoins were stolen, but only about 150 to 200,000 bitcoins are going to be refunded, which is still a huge amount. And if all of those people, 200,000 bitcoins, individual bitcoins, get sell-offs happening when they do get refunded, could be a possible reason of why these doormat wallets are all of a sudden turning back on, maybe to sell before the MT Gox situation, which is going to be happening next month, according to MT Gox. So that could be the reasoning, maybe. Now, Chainlink. Chainlink's data is going to be streaming on launches on Avalanche mainnet with GMX version 2. Chainlink's data streams are officially live on Avalanche, according to the announcement just from essentially Chainlink. Avalanche and GMX on-chain perpetuate a spot crypto exchange. The major integration has GMX as the launch partner that will help power Avalanche's decentralized DeFi market space. Avalanche's DApps ecosystems will benefit from Chainlink's data streams on-demand access to low-intensity market data via GMX version 2 integration. The platform said, Chainlink's data streams to boost Avalanche DeFi space. GMX is the leading decentralized exchange DEX platform by total value locked TVL on Arbitrum and Avalanche. So that's apologies everyone. GMX version 2 leverages Chainlink's data and streams for high-frequency market data and automated transaction settlements, especially the exchanges taps into the Chainlink data stream settlement for trades and to trigger stops and liquidations. The integration will see it utilize these features to bolster the Avalanche DeFi ecosystem. GMX's data streams integration on Avalanche's mainnet is about expanding the success of our GMX version 2 launch, CoinFlip. A core contributor at essentially GMX said this. Chainlink's data streams has meaningfully contributed to the decentralized exchange's speed and resilience. And we're excited to bring these same benefits to all the traders and liquidity providers in the Avalanche ecosystem, essentially CoinFlip added. So Sorry, I don't have a cup this time. It's just bottle water. I left my cup at home. Now, regarding GMX and essentially Avalanche, it's going to be an interesting move. And it's so far looking extremely positive from Chainlink's perspective, also from Avalanche's perspective, also from GMX's perspective, who's playing the middleman role here. Now, however, it also provides for massive on-chain execution, speed, and security. Notably, data streams are backed by Chainlink's decentralized and robust infrastructures. By offering unmatched speed and resilience, data streams enables DeFi protocols to provide ultra-fast, high-throughput DeFi products while maintaining the high security guarantees on-chain finance, said John Eade, Chief Business Officer at Chainlink Labs. Other DeFi platforms that have followed GMX in integrating data streams include PancakeSwap, Apollo X, DRX Exchange, and YFX. I think I'm getting ill on this vacation as well. It's a business trip. I've taken some medication, but I think I'm ill as well. Now, the whole scenario of Chainlink with AVAX and with GMX, so far looking positive. It's going to definitely boost essentially Avalanche in a whole new perspective as well. So a lot of other chains could possibly go towards Avalanche for data streams if Chainlink is going to be doing this as well. So let's see how that plans out. But I've said this before and I'll say it again. Avalanche is a brilliant chain as well. Very underrated. Not a lot of people go towards Avalanche. They preferably go towards Ethereum or Solana. I would go for Avalanche, personally. It's faster, it's more secure, and it provides better infrastructure. Hence why JP Morgan, Citibank, and now even Chainlink streaming their data with Avalanche. Very underrated chain. But positive news all around. What is going on? Now, next news to go from tonight's live show is Galaxy Digital. Galaxy Digital seems up to $7.5 billion flowing into Ethereum ETFs within the first 5 months. According to Galaxy Digital's CEO, essentially, they're possibly seeing about $7.5 billion going towards Ethereum ETFs. That's going to be getting a green light next month. Even according to Gary Gensler, when he was asked the question of how the Ethereum ETF scenario is going, he said it's going very smoothly. So we can come back to Eric's word, and Eric said that around 2nd of July or 4th of July is when we're expecting Ethereum ETFs. That should also make the market start going higher and climbing. And we have the Solana ETF news to go through on tonight's live show as well. But we're going to go through that one first, and we'll get to the Solana news. Now, before we go through the Galaxy Digital news perspective, let's go inside the comment section first. Jesus. Will presidential debates tell us why US... Will presidential debates tell us why the US should embrace crypto miles, positive attitude towards blockchain? Yes. The presidential debates will definitely tell us why US should embrace cryptocurrencies. Yes. Regarding the US debates, they're definitely going to be discussing some sort of cryptocurrencies or CBDCs or even Bitcoin. I see that coming without a doubt. As I said, if Biden doesn't bring it up, Trump will. And get some wild Oregon oil to boost immune. Thank you for that, Leroy. Leroy can see why you did. But yeah, it's definitely going to tell us where America stands. This whole debate with Trump and so on, it's definitely going to understand. We're going to have an understanding of where Trump stands and where Biden stands when they're having this debate in terms of cryptocurrencies. Now, you can honestly see how big of a role cryptocurrencies are starting to play, where Biden is hiring a former Coinbase head of something to be alongside his Biden administration, and then Trump being called the crypto president. Essentially, you can see how much of a massive role crypto is starting to play, not just in in the institutional concept, not just in the corporate sector and so on, bankings and finance and so on, but it's also playing a massive role in the presidential election, the biggest presidential election, the United States presidential election, which again, according to Bank of International Settlements and the International Monetary Fund, when the United States, catches a cold, when the United States sneezes, the rest of the markets catch a cold. So, I believe it's going to be a massive. I'm going to have an understanding where each candidate stands, possibly. No cough sweats? Yes, slightly. My brother, my brother, I think you blocked me on YouTube. I use YouTube because I drive and I live in Los Angeles, and I'm multitasking on my iPhone, and the YouTube allows me to do that. If you can unblock me on YouTube, thank you. I'm under my first name, Abel. AG, I would personally never block you in any sort of a way at all because you're always. See, you're not blocked. Um, that's weird. Has any members of the CMF by accident blocked AG? Because AG is also a OG member of the CMF since TikTok days. Has any member of the CMF, the moderators, by accident blocked Abel? Kerry once by mistake blocked someone on YouTube. Maybe that was Abel that he blocked by accident. Because I never got around to unblocking whoever it was. I'll check somehow to see what the blocked list is on YouTube. But AJ, I will personally never block you. Even if you were blocked, it was most likely by accident. No, not me. Never me. That's very odd. I'll check. AG, after this live show, I'll check on YouTube. What time is the debate tomorrow? It's around 9 p.m., apparently. Probably about 9 p.m. Yeah, I think I'm generally not good. I think it's most likely the lack of sleep as well. Lack of sleep. Yeah, most likely. I don't know. Now, Galaxy Digital. Galaxy Digital sees up to $7.5 billion flowing into Ethereum ETFs within the first 5 months. Galaxy Digital said exchange-traded funds tracking Ethereum's native token could become a multi-billion-dollar market opportunity soon after approvals. This is a perspective coming from Galaxy Digital on that they could possibly be seeing about $7.5 billion coming to Ethereum ETFs. The US Exchange Commission recently changed their course to accelerate the approval of these funds, with some analysts predicting that the first Ethereum ETFs approvals could essentially come next week. The SEC has yet to approve the crucial S1 filings needed for the funds to hit the market. Now, in a Wednesday report, Galaxy Vice President of Research Charles Yeo said that its first 5 months of trading regarding Ethereum ETFs could see about 20% or upwards of about 50% of inflows in terms of Bitcoin ETFs, and it did happen, which have been a surprising hit since the suite of funds launched in January. The perspectives they've had essentially on the Bitcoin ETFs were all true in terms of what percentage could come through on the Bitcoin ETFs. Now, once again, they could have an accurate perspective on Ethereum ETFs as well, 7.5 billion within a few months. Bitcoin ETFs received about 15.1 billion in net inflows between the launch and essentially June 15th. Yo wrote, if his predictions is correct, similar Ethereum-based funds could see between $3 billion to $7.5 billion in inflows. This is more or less in line with Bitwise's chief investment officer as well, Matt Hugin's prediction that the US spot Ether ETFs could attract about $15 billion worth of net inflows in their first 18 months. The Bitcoin ETFs have been essentially have been live for about under 6 months and could serve as a useful foundation to examine the likely reception of Ethereum spot ETFs as well. Yo wrote in a report that in particular, he said that Bitcoin ETFs are at least partially responsible for Bitcoin's price appreciation as well this year, and that we think the potential launch of the spot Ether ETFs could have a largely positive impact for the market adoption of Ethereum and the broader crypto ecosystem, noting that ETFs will legitimize Ethereum in the eyes of institutional investors, policymakers, and regulators. Demand will likely be driven by independent investment advisors and broker-dealer platforms, he said. Most likely it's going to be institutions, the same thing that happened regarding Bitcoin ETFs. 937 corporations on inside Bitcoin ETFs. Now, regarding his perspective of $7.5 billion, as possibly can come true. Now, Ethereum is going to be a very big hit regarding their ETF. And also because Wall Street likes diversification. Now, it was also Bitwise's CIO that once said that Wall Street likes diversification in terms of crypto assets. They want to go more into crypto assets, possibly even into tokenization. So yes, I do see that much amount of money within a few months coming towards Ethereum ETFs. But again, as something I said previously, it's not just good for Ethereum, it's good in the eyes of other cryptocurrencies as well. So institutions are going to get more comfortable with other cryptocurrencies as well. This is all positive all around for the crypto space, not just for Ethereum, but also good for Ethereum, good for projects built upon Ethereum, but in general, good for the crypto space. Now, if that much amount of money comes towards Ethereum in that few amount of times, in that few amount of time. Now, Vitalik Buterin is backing the new Ethereum compatible chain Mega ETH. So Vitalik Buterin, essentially co-founder of Ethereum, has came out and is talking about a new Mega ETH in essentially $20 million round. New thing that's happening, Mega ETH. Apparently, it's the better version of Ethereum. Vitalik Buterin is involved in raising money for it. It's faster. It's easier to build upon. It's cheaper in terms of transactions, in terms of gas fees, and so on. So all around, Mega ETH is a better version of Ethereum, and Vitalik Buterin is a part of it. But before we go through that news, let's go inside the comment section first. Is the debate on at 9 p.m. UK time? I think so. Hydration, brother. Maybe some honey, lemon, and tea. I think so. It's in 2.5 hours, Miles. Thank you for that. My prediction on XRP ETFs will be in trillions, not in billions. Let's go, funky brother. Now, Vitalik Buterin. Vitalik Buterin backs new Ethereum compatible chain Mega ETH in $20 million round. I would say the same thing. We're going to vote funky brother said. Now, Mega ETH aims to enhance basically Mega ETH aims to enhance the blockchain speed and efficiency with new technology. Ethereum co-founder Vitalik Buterin has joined as an angel investor in Mega ETH, a new Ethereum compatible blockchain project. Mega ETH has secured up to $20 million in seed fundings from several crypto investors, including Vitalik Buterin. Da Bing, the founder of Mega ETH, announced the funding round essentially on Twitter. Institutional investors, including Dragonfly Capital, Figment Capital, Robert Ventures, Furious Ventures, Tangent, Big Brain Ventures as well, VC companies actually, and Credibly Natural as well. Other individual investors, termed as Mega Angels by the team, include Joseph Lubin, Kobe Santo, Kartik Toller, and obviously Vitalik Buterin, and a few other high-profile members as well. Mega ETH reports having functional development and in terms of working towards further developments. The project utilizes in-memory computing state synchronizations and a new state trio designed to achieve its reported performance. Mega ETH's technical stack includes Rust Ethereum's and Alloy Merkle Patricia Tree MPT, and these components are designed to enhance performance and memory efficiency. Alongside the funding announcements, Mega ETH launched 0x Mega Mafia, described as a program for developers exploring decentralized real-time applications. Yes, it is true. Mega ETH has essentially launched something called 0x Mega Mafia, but this potentially could be something to keep an eye on out. 100%. I'm definitely going to be personally keeping my eye out on Mega ETH in terms of especially Vitalik Buterin being one of the people that funded it. If it turns out, the issue is also every time Ethereum claims they're going to be faster and cheaper in some sort of a way, it never comes to that outcome. But I'll definitely keep my eye out on Mega ETH and definitely update everyone on this live show as well on what happens with Mega ETH. Now, MicroStrategy is the next news we're going to go from tonight's live show. MicroStrategy launches an AI-driven data essentially insights for enterprise apps. MicroStrategy is not going to only be focusing on apparently Bitcoin from now on, but MicroStrategy is going to be expanding their range, which is good to see. On this live show, previously I stated that essentially Michael Saylor, even though he's an incredibly intelligent man, wealthy man, and very good company, strong company ahead of himself, but for some odd reason, Michael Saylor was very focused only Bitcoin. And I said personally that you should never, see crypto projects as a religion or a football team. Don't support them like that. If you want to admire the blockchain technology, admire the blockchain technology. But don't be, essentially that much amount of focus, especially not on an asset like that. But it seems like MicroStrategy has started to shift their viewpoint and not just be Bitcoin, 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 but now they're going in towards AI as well, which is good to see. Now, we're going to go through that news as well, but before we go through that, let's go start the conversation first. Any news on XRP? Yes, John. Towards the end, we're going to go through the XRP news. What's up, brother Miles and CMF? Below, good to see you as well. How you doing? XRP news, I missed it. No, we're going to go towards the end on the XRP news. Check CNN for the debate. Yes, the debate is going to be on CNN regarding Trump versus Biden. It's definitely going to be a comedy one for Biden. Biden is going to be probably lost in terms of questions. He's probably going to walk off the stage for no apparent reason, or even trip up onto the stage. But we'll see. Now, MicroStrategy launches AI-driven data insights for enterprise apps. MicroStrategy, incorporated Nasdaq MSTR, today unveiled a new capability essentially for its MicroStrategy One platform, they're calling it. The first time enterprise can integrate AI-powered insights right into the web and mobile applications without complex integration projects. Enhanced data accessibilities for frontline workers. The feature builds on the hyperintelligence, a long-standing component of MicroStrategy's One. This has no-code environment. Essentially enables employees to access bit-sized AI insights with their daily workflows. Frontline workers can now access the relative data quickly, enhancing their decision-making capabilities. Information access with Auto AI as well. MicroStrategy's One's essentially hyperintelligence, powered by Auto, provides instant responses to user queries within any application. Employees can type questions about sales, customer satisfaction, or other data points, receiving immediate, accurate information. This innovation is particularly beneficial for sales representatives, medical personnel, and call center agents who need fast access to critical information. Aidan Miller, the Senior Director of Data and Advanced Analytics investment company, emphasized the impact of this technology. He noted that the platform seamlessly integrates actionable information into daily routines without requiring access to back-end systems. Now, Saurabh, also EVP and Chief Product Officer essentially at MicroStrategy, highlighted the benefits of incorporating Auto into hyperintelligence. He stated that employees can dig deeper to obtain additional information, making the data-driven businesses a reality. This new capability in MicroStrategy's One aims to revolutionize how enterprises utilize data, making it more accessible and essentially actionable for employees. What I'm surprised about is, knowing Michael Saylor, he hasn't built his essentially One platform on Bitcoin's chain. So I'm happy to essentially see that he's not building on Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is congested as it already is. But MicroStrategy shifting their viewpoint away from Bitcoin might not, to some people, might seem like a bad thing, but they're not shifting, completely. But they're opening their range. They're going towards AI now as well, which is good to see. So somewhere down the line, we could even possibly see MicroStrategy opening their range even more and going towards altcoins. These are small indications that a company like MicroStrategy is changing their viewpoints, which is good to definitely see without a doubt. Now, what they also have designed is definitely going to make a lot of people lose their jobs. In terms of the AI software they've designed, a lot of people are going to lose their jobs. But if you are holding cryptocurrencies, who needs a job? Not financial advice in any sort of a way for later on. Now, BlackRock's news is the next one news to go for tonight's live show. BlackRock's premier funds embraces IBIT in a big win for Bitcoin. But before we go for the BlackRock news, let's go to the comment section first. Check CNN for the bit. Let's go. Biden will be pumped up on pharmaceuticals. They will keep muting Trump. It's a joke. Greetings, Miles and CMF. I woke up yesterday at 3 a.m. and checked X to see if you're on live. Lena, good to see you as well. How you doing, Lena? How you been? Also, Lena, apologies on the PDF documentation on how to send your assets from crypto.com to your cold storage wallet. I haven't forgotten in any sort of way. It's just I came extremely busy. Actually, my bad. I don't want to lie. I did forget for a slight moment regarding the PDF documentation, because things became very hectic for me regarding this whole German trip, because I didn't tell everybody this part. So the German trip, I'm in Germany right now, but the German trip was going to happen. Was going to happen. On the day I was supposed to leave to Germany, about 5 hours before, something happened where I had to stay in London. And then last minute, the thing I had to do in London, I didn't have to do anymore. And then it ended up me going back on the German trip, which now I'm in Germany. So a lot of things have happened even right before Germany as well. But yeah, a lot of things happened right before we came to Germany. So a lot of situations regarding coin move happened right before Germany, and now I'm in Germany right now. A lot of things are going on towards the coin move as well. But Lena, it's on my list. I'm going to put the PDF document. I'm going to send it to you, and I'm going to put it inside a Telegram group as well. So apologies about that, Lena. Now, BlackRock. BlackRock's premier funds embrace IBIT in a big win for Bitcoin. American multinational investment firm BlackRock Inc. is seeing a massive embrace of its spot Bitcoin ETF. Notably, the firm is personally fueling the adoption of iShares Bitcoin Trust. BlackRock Inc. IBIT as the biggest Bitcoin fund possibly still to date. According to a new filing with the United States Securities and Exchange Commission (SEC), BlackRock's Global Allocation Fund owned a total of 43,000 IBIT of shares as of April 30th. This is followed by two additional filings that BlackRock has made on May 28th, as spotted essentially by Microscope. The firms disclosed that Bitcoin's exposure in its strategic global bond fund, and its strategic income opportunities portfolio. With all these acquisitions, Bitcoin's IBIT has bagged the position of the biggest Bitcoin fund amongst the counterparts, even overtaking Grayscale's GBTC, which at once held the most. Up till now, IBIT keeps registering inflows, which has contributed in helping it retain its leading position in the ETF markets. On Tuesday, BlackRock's IBIT registered zero inflows, which shows neutral interest from their institutional clients. However, its trading volumes hit $1 billion as key competitors registered outflows. BlackRock's IBIT currently has more than 300,000 BTC in assets under management, and the holding is currently valued at approximately $18.4 billion based on market value of the coin at this time. Other spot Bitcoin ETF issuers are equally doing well as well, judging by the inflows that the ecosystem has seen in recent times. On June 26, Bitcoin ETF flows were positive, totaling over about $21 million. Fidelity Investments led the influx, while BlackRock's remained stagnant. Moreover, Grayscale's GBTC registered a positive flow after an extensive outflow streak. Apparently, Grayscale is starting to climb the ladders again in terms of holding onto Bitcoin, not letting it drop. More spot crypto ETFs in the industry as well. Spot Ethereum ETFs have been approved by the United States Securities Exchange Commission, but is yet to commence trading. The regulator has received the S1 amendments from the 8 of the Ethereum ETF filers, and this reflects their commitment to comply with regulators, and they offer their clients potential offerings as well. And one of the asset management firms, Van Eck, recently also took the step further by applying for a Solana ETF as well, which we're going to go through on tonight's live show as well. But yes, regarding the BlackRock situation, apparently BlackRock is acquiring their own BTC ETFs quite a lot, actually. So BlackRock has multiple funds. And apparently it's not just corporations that are buying through BlackRock, or brokers, or family offices that are buying through BlackRock. It's also BlackRock buying its own Bitcoins through BlackRock for their other funds. And they're holding on to them. So BlackRock is the number one company behind Marathon Digital, which is the biggest Bitcoin mining institution out there. And BlackRock has the number one, essentially, Bitcoin ETF fund. And BlackRock is also holding the majority of their own BlackRock's ETF Bitcoins in their other funds. They're buying it from themselves to store it in their other funds. Yeah, BlackRock is definitely trying to control the outcome of Bitcoin. But then, honestly, in all honesty, we all saw this coming regarding BlackRock trying to get control and control the piece of the pie for themselves. Now, Sui Copper is the next news we're going to go through. Everybody's heard of the crypto project Sui. If you haven't, I talked about it a very long time ago regarding Sui, S-U-I. Now, Sui Copper's relationship to enhance institutional adoption. The biggest boost any crypto project can get, possibly, is from essentially institutions. The biggest boost you can ever possibly get is institutional money. As much as the crypto space wants to claim, crypto should be about the regular folks, it should be about, individualism, or, decentralization and so on. But if you want money within that project, yeah, retail money is bad money, because retail money will leave that project in about 6 months' time because it's shaky. Institutional money, even though it comes in a very manipulated way, but at least it stays with that crypto project for a longer period of time than the retail money does. Now, a lot of crypto projects are shifting over to the institutions right now. And Sui is one of them, because SUI-copper relationship to enhance institutional adoption. The blockchain sector saw a major advancements in the most recent cryptocurrency update. SUI, a promising layer 1 blockchain, announces partnership with Copper, a leading digital asset financial service provider. The SUI-Copper relationship represents a watershed moment in the history of widespread institutional cryptocurrencies. Based on its latest crypto news, this may have an effect comparable to that of well-established coins like Ethereum and Bitcoin. This is how far SUI is going right now. The SUI copper relationship aims to solve a pressing demand in the cryptocurrency ecosystem. That is the development of a new infrastructure, alternatives for digital assets, safekeepings. The need for safe and effective custody solutions is an all-time high due to the increasing interest in cryptocurrencies among institutions. It is true. There's a large amount of institutions worldwide coming inside the crypto space as we speaking as well right now. So the need for a safe and effective custody solution is an all-time high due to increasing interest in cryptocurrencies among institutions. Industry insiders and potential investors have taken notice of cryptocurrency news surrounding the collaborations. Many view it as a calculated move that would weaken BTC and Ethereum's grip on the institutional crypto market. It was supposedly hesitant SUI's acceptance by major entities. The Bit Journal shares his observations on the SUI copper relationship or partnerships. The recent cryptocurrency news surrounding this partnership highlights how quickly the blockchain sector advances. Investors, developers, and users all face new opportunities and threats. The crypto update noticed that the digital banking market constantly changes due to new collaborations and technology. A lot of banks are also partnered with quite a lot of crypto projects or even cryptocurrency platforms in terms of exchanges. Now, new infrastructure options for digital asset custody. Innovative custody possibilities for institutional investors will be introduced through the SUI copper relationship. These new infrastructures alternatives aim to improve security, liquidity, and digital asset management. As a part of SUI's innovative strides, they entered into a partnership with Byte Plus to enhance data processing. Copper's digital asset custody expertise and SUI's blockchain technology guarantees a robust and adaptive customer custody platform. Bitcoin and Ethereum and SUI's token are just a few of the digital assets that this platform may support. The managing director of the SUI Foundation, Greg, said that this strategic partnership integrating Copper's and enterprise-grade custody toolings exemplifies the continued maturation of the SUI ecosystem into a platform capable of supporting the heightened infrastructure needs of SUI's institutional builders and users. However, speculation arises that this crypto update would have far-reaching consequences for the entire ecosystem. Industry observers are monitoring how this SUI-Copper relationship could affect custody policies for BTC, Ethereum, and other altcoins as well. The SUI-Copper relationship implications for SUI's growth in institutional finance. In its pursuit of becoming a dominant participant in the institutional cryptocurrency market, SUI takes a giant leap forward. SUI is setting itself up to compete with well-established cryptocurrencies like Ethereum and Bitcoin for institutional attention and investment. They are tackling a major obstacle to institutional adoption, efficient and secure custody solutions. Copper's infrastructure on SUI is ready to service major financial traders and market participants today. If the SUI and Copper relationship is successful, it might help propel SUI's expansion in the institutional sector. Based on the latest crypto news, the SUI has an advantage when attracting institutional investors that only consider Bitcoin and Ethereum. Cryptocurrency investors holding Bitcoin and Ethereum stand to gain from SUI's copper alliance. It can essentially raise the bar for custody solutions, spark industry innovation. Now, what SUI is basically doing, SUI, it's a crypto project that's a very well-known crypto project, old crypto project as well. And SUI is expanding its range into the institutional side. Now, what I also liked about it is, regarding the part where they said this is SUI trying to get attention from the institutions, because every crypto project knows it's all about institutional money. But also, what's interesting is SUI did not even once mention that they also do have a competitor. It's not just SUI who's opened their doors to institutions' self-custody storage wallets. No, but it's also IBM, Metaco, and Ripple, which announced this whole scenario last year. Last year, I shared the news to everybody. Towards the end of the year, I shared the news to everybody that essentially Metaco, IBM, and Ripple came together essentially to build self-storage cold wallets. High grade for institutions, and it's pretty much on that aspect. Now, Sui didn't even mention it once that they have a competitor. They mentioned it as we're innovating this whole industry. Yes, it's a brilliant idea to get involved in, but it's not Sui's innovation. It was actually Ripple, Metaco, and IBM's innovation. But in general, it's definitely going to help Sui's price performance in the long term, as long as that partnership works out for them and they essentially are able to get the attention they need from institutions. So maybe one blockchain to look into in terms of research wise, if you want to go for it. Personally, I don't hold Sui. I've never did. I've traded on Sui, but I've never held it. But definitely a project to look into more if they're going to go towards the institutional side even further. Now, former Coinbase advisor Kesha Lance. This is how desperate Sleepy Joe is getting right now. Sleepy Joe is getting extremely desperate because he's hiring former former Coinbase members to be alongside him while he's going up against Trump. So that in the image, Sleepy Joe looks like he's pro crypto. So he can have a former Coinbase member standing next to him in terms of the Biden administration. So he can look pro crypto because she's a former, essentially Coinbase member. It's all about image. Sleepy Joe doesn't know his left hand towards his right hand, but apparently he has an understanding of cryptocurrencies. But yeah, this is how desperate it's getting. It's also interesting to see how much we've come along, because the crypto space was something that nobody wanted to touch, apparently. And then it got to a certain stage where institutions got involved, and now it's got to a certain stage where if people want votes to become the next president, crypto matters. So, former Coinbase advisor Kesha Lance Bottoms joins Biden's campaign. Kesha Lance Bottoms, a former mayor of the Atlanta and member of Coinbase's Global Advisory Council, has joined President Joe Biden's campaign for the 2024 election as a senior advisor. Bottoms served as the mayor of Atlanta from 2018 to 2022 and joined the Coinbase Advisory Council in April 2024 after leaving an advisor role at the White House in 2023. And commenting on the appointment, she stated, "We often say that each election is the most important election of our lifetime. This one absolutely is. We spent 4 years tormented by the policies and erratic behavior of Donald Trump, and another 4 years." I'm sorry, I'll be honest, I was going to read this and then give you my opinion, but what an absolute load of BS. How she came and just make this ridiculous statement. She said, "We often say that each election," I thought genuinely I was going to be able to read this statement and then give you my perspective, but just got to that sentence and I couldn't stop myself. She said, "We often say that each election is the most important election of our lifetime. This one absolutely is. We spent 4 years tormented by the policies and erotic behavior of Donald Trump, and another 4 years of promised reputation to his political enemies is just the tip of the iceberg of the chaos that will once again bring to America." What an absolute load of BS. 4 years of torment. From who? Trump. I'm sorry, have you seen the Biden administration? Every single one of them is an absolute moron. The policies that you have inside the United States is absolutely ridiculous in terms of the crypto policies I'm talking about. It's absolutely ridiculous. The tormentation that's came towards the crypto space, what's that got to do with Trump? Her stating the statements of, the torments that we went through and torments that inside the, this 4 years that were passed and so on. I'm sorry, is she not fully aware that basically Sleepy Joe is the president of the United States right now, and the torments that we went through the crypto space has nothing to do with Trump? Because Trump is not in power. Sleepy Joe is. And Sleepy Joe is with Gary Gensler. He made that very clear when he made the statement of, "Nope, the banks aren't allowed to hold crypto assets in any sort of a way," and I agree with Gary Gensler. The person that's been tormenting the crypto space is Gary Gensler. And Sleepy Joe agrees with Gary Gensler. And her making this absurd statement, the torments we've went through these past 4 years, yes, with Biden, I don't think she's fully aware of essentially who's been in charge of the United States this past 4 years. And I'll be honest, I thought nobody could be dumber in any sort of a way than essentially Sleepy Joe. But every time I say this, I'm seeing new lows in terms of IQ levels because what she just stated makes her look like an absolute moron. Now, Bottoms has also a deep history in politics. Her role as the mayor included guiding Atlanta through the turbulent times following George Floyd's murder in 2020. She also doubled down on the support of Biden, saying that from the moment President Biden stepped foot in the White House 4 years ago, he put people over politics, delivering historic progress. Historic progress on what? Name one historic progress Biden has done so far. Bottoms emphasized the urgency of the upcoming election, reflecting on the progress made during Biden's tenure. What progress? She warned that the old achievements could be undone if Trump returns to the office. I'm sorry, for somebody to have achievements, then you can say those achievements will be undone. She's claiming that Biden has done amazing achievements, and if Trump comes, those achievements will go away. What achievements? You've got to do achievements for them to be undone, and for you to make the statement that they'll be undone. If you haven't achieved anything, then what's going to be changing? Trump has vowed to be a dictator. Trump has vowed to be a dictator. Now, one has on day one apparently and will surely roll back all the progress the Biden-Harris administration has made. The Biden-Harris essentially administration has made zero progress. We cannot let that happen. Let what happen? Nothing's happened inside the United States. Inflation is at crazy highs. They're printing left, right, and center. Mortgage is still, sky high. Petrol is sky, gas is sky high. Electricity is sky high. Everything's sky high. What progress has Biden achieved? There's been no progress, but apparently, if Trump comes, all of this progress goes away. What progress? I'm still confused. Biden-Harris campaign strategies. Biden-Harris 2024 campaign chair Jen O'Malley Dillon welcomed Bottoms' addition to the team. Dillon stated from the very beginning, as one of the first elected officials to endorse Joe Biden during the summer in 2019, Mayor Bottoms has been a valuable and trusted advisor to the president. It's like one's dumber than the other in the Biden administration. In a statement, Bottoms, she said, is focused on addressing synthetic issues affecting communities of color, particularly those who are unbanked and underbanked. I hate the idea, okay? I genuinely hate the idea when people want to get votes, they use religion to pressure people for votes, or they use some sort of skin color or background. I hate it. The idea of somebody trying to get votes in politics and saying, if you're this skin color, vote for this person. Or, if you are, in the poorer community, vote for this person. Or, if you are this religion, vote for this person. Politics should not be about, if you are this skin color, vote for this person. If you are this religion, vote for this person. Don't ever involve religion. Don't ever involve, someone's skin color. Everyone's pretty much the same. I don't see skin color. Everyone's the same. To me, everyone's always the same. But the idea of somebody using religion or somebody using somebody's background or somebody's skin color to get votes and say, if you are this person or from this background, you should be voting for Biden. Why? To me, it's embarrassing when somebody uses religion to get votes or somebody uses someone's background or someone's skin color to get votes. It's absolutely an embarrassment. And there is zero difference between anyone. Doesn't matter what your skin color is, what your religion is, everyone's the same in my eyes. And everyone's the same in the majority of eyes. But for you to be always, I don't know what it is, but when it comes to election times, when it comes to voting times, they always try to split people up into groups. They say, no, you're in this group because of your skin color. No, you're in this group because of your religion, which is absolutely absurd. Everyone's in the same group. And if anyone tells you otherwise, you're in the same group. Everyone's in the same group. Don't ever let them split you up and say, no, you're, because you're this color, you're in this group. Because you're this religion, you're in this group. And you should be voting for this person. Absolute BS. Everyone's in the same group. Your religion, your background, your skin color, doesn't matter. Everyone's in the same group. Don't ever let them split you up when it comes to voting. She emphasized the role of crypto and blockchain in transforming the financial system, empowering Black-owned businesses, and unlocking opportunities. She's trying to say if you vote for Biden, Biden's going to give you more opportunities because of your skin color in cryptocurrencies. Do you know how absurd that sounds? If Biden was going to give new opportunities, in her words, honestly, she actually stated in a statement, Bottom said she is focused, sorry, she emphasized the role of crypto and blockchain in transforming the financial system, empowering black owned businesses, and unlocking opportunities. Biden has been president for how long? I'm sorry, has Biden off. Can everyone see me? Can everybody see me for a thumbs up? Brilliant. Ray, let's go. Carol, let's go. Joe, let's go. I think CNN is trying to block this stream. I think CNN is trying to block this live show because CNN is, probably thinking to themselves, why is this person ruining the debate before it starts? But yeah, her absurd scenario of, if you vote for Biden, Biden is going to be helping the black owned, essentially, businesses in terms of cryptocurrencies. Biden hasn't helped anyone, doesn't matter what your skin color is or what your religion is inside the United States. Since day one of coming into presidency until now, Biden hasn't helped anyone for cryptocurrencies. So her absurd obsession of, if you are, a black, if you own a black owned business, vote for Biden in terms of cryptocurrencies because he'll, give you that opportunity. Biden hasn't given anyone an opportunity inside the United States. He's with Gary Gensler. I don't think she's fully aware of that. Since day one until now, Biden has given zero opportunities for cryptocurrency users. But all of a sudden, it's voting season. He cares about giving black owned businesses cryptocurrency. It's just absolute BS. Do not fall for any of these tricks. Despite the new role details about Bottom's compensation from Coinbase or the Biden campaign remain undisclosed, Coinbase created its Global Advisory Council in efforts to strengthen the relationship with stakeholders worldwide. Today, Bottoms headlined a Stand with Crypto event essentially in Atlanta. This person, Bottoms, has created a crypto event now as well called Stand with Crypto. Apparently, if you stand with crypto, you stand with Biden, with Sleepy Joe. How does that one work? I have zero clue. How do you stand with crypto and if you're standing with Biden? Because where was Biden before when we needed him? When Gary Gensler was abusing his power? This so regarding Bottom's headlined Stand with Crypto event in Atlanta, where she stressed the nature of crypto and a support from elected officials across the country. She stated, the issue is receiving an attention and support of elected officials across the country, with cities and small businesses improving and expanding services through the use of crypto and blockchain technology. Legally, Bottom's new rule does not present a conflict of interest, according to Danielle Capto, the legal counsel on the ethics team at the Campaign Legal Center. Capto noted that there are generally few rules applying to campaign advisors as well. However, the revolution door between public services and private sectors has long been essentially criticized for giving companies an edge in influencing legislations and securing government contracts. What an absolute BS, honestly. Genuinely can't believe the amount of lies that's being spreading right now, just from this one person. Honestly, the amount of lies was laughable. I was going to say ridiculous, but the amount of lies that was just mentioned in this one whole statement was just back to back lies. Not 1 cent, not even 1% of truth came from any of these statements she made. I mean, what we're going to do about it? I mean, it is politicians. Telling a politician to tell the truth is impossible. It's never going to happen. Except one person. There's one person in politics that will tell you how it is. But 99% of politicians, if you tell them to tell the truth, it's impossible. Now, the next news to go for tonight's live show is regarding Wall Street. Wall Street embraces altcoins with new Solana ETF. Is about what we're going to go through next. But before we go through that, let's go inside the comment section first. Let's go inside the comment section. We were here, I think. Yes. Hey, Miles, CMF, you look smart, Miles. Let's go, Ripple. How you doing? Probably why Coinbase refused handling Trump's donations. Most likely, Vibe. Let's go. Get him, Miles. Let's go, Ian. That's the reason why Sleepy Joe wouldn't get rid of the weasel. The only achievement Biden has done is achieve to embarrass the United States. I agree. I really don't think they're going to talk much about cryptocurrency tonight. There's a lot more issues that they need to talk about, the American people about, but who knows? They will go for it. Absolutely no progress, the opposite. Biden fooled me the first time, but he won't fool me into voting for him again this time. Let's go, Stormy. They are very sad. The very sad part of it, it's there is a lot of people that believe this kind of news media statements about Biden, which is true. A lot of people will probably read what she's written and go, "Yes, this is what Biden is." And it just shows, the amount of brain cells is unreal. We all bleed red. Facts. Biden has increased the sales of dippers. Let's go. You're missing Miles. Let's go. Central casting. Yep. Sleepy is having a chip upgrade. Voting against crypto in the House. That's where Sleepy Joe is. Pretty much. Senate. Troy. Yes. Let's go. But yeah, the amount of lies that we just went through that statement was absolutely laughable. Now, the next news to go from tonight's live show is Wall Street embraces altcoins with new Solana ETF. So, the VanEck moved to launch a spot Solana ETF, signaling essentially a significant shift on Wall Street towards alternative cryptocurrencies. This proposal arrives shortly after the SEC's nod to spot Bitcoin ETFs, suggesting a growing acceptance of digital assets beyond traditional cryptocurrencies. Now, Wall Street grows keen on altcoins. As VanEck introduces its Solana Trust, Wall Street emphasizes for cryptocurrencies in essentially expanding. The fund taps into the recent SEC approvals for similar Bitcoin and Ethereum ETFs. The VanEck Solana Trust plans to value its shares daily based on prices from selecting trading platforms. Anthony Palmo, a well-known figure inside the cryptocurrency circles, argues that essentially this move exemplifies the broader acceptance, agrees that essentially this will exemplify the broad acceptance of altcoins in major financial systems. Despite the optimism, regulatory challenges remain a concern. Bloomberg ETF analyst James cautions that while the filings has been made, the absence of a formal 19B4 filing suggests a potential launch date by mid-March 2025. The timeline reflects the intriguing essentially dance between innovation and regulatory compliance, indicating that patience is required while wheels are in motion. The proposal has sparked a mix of reactions among industry experts. Anthony views it essentially the ETF as a proof that altcoins are becoming essentially a staple on Wall Street, potentially making public markets more volatile and risky. The perspective aligns with a broader view with that the institutional interest in digital assets is diversifying beyond Bitcoin and Ethereum. Solana network reaches $4 billion in values locked. The Solana network currently boasts nearly $4 billion in total value locked. This robust activity, coupled with a similar scale in its stablecoin market cap, attracts a growing number of developers and projects, such as Metric highlights Solana's strong position in the cryptocurrency landscape, further bolstering the credibility of altcoins, and the US SEC recently announcing it would no longer pursue investigations into Ethereum for securities laws and violations. This development is likely to impact the regulatory environment for other cryptocurrencies, including the Solana, suggesting a possible smoother path for a similar initiative. So, Solana ETFs, is that going to happen? Most likely, yes. Solana's on the list for an ETF, but also a lot of crypto XRP is definitely on the list for an ETF. But quite a few crypto projects are on the list for an ETF. Now, what's interesting is that VanEck has made the proposal of a Solana ETF, but they haven't filed in a 19B4 filing essentially for a Solana ETF, which is something most likely the crypto space forgot to mention regarding the influencers probably now telling everyone Solana ETF, Solana ETF. Yes, it is true. Vanik has said it, but that's all. Vanik has mentioned it, but they never filed in their 19B4 filings. So it's not official, it's just an announcement from Vanik. If they wanted to make an official, they could have filed in for it, but they didn't. Now, saying that, does that mean Solana ETFs won't happen? They will happen, and Vanik could possibly change their mind or possibly file for it eventually, or even another company could file in essentially as well. But yeah, those things are in mind. And I did say that, it's going to be happening in terms of other ETFs are in progress without a doubt. And XRP is definitely one ETF that's going to be happening. Now, we're going to go on the XRP news as well a bit later on. Now, time for China to reconsider its cryptocurrency ban. China's strict ban on cryptocurrency minings and trading might be more dimensional than beneficial, argues Wang Yang, vice president of Hong Kong's University of Science and Technology. He highlighted the ban has pushed Bitcoin miners to the US, leading a $4 billion tax revenue loss for China. So, according to this person, essentially the vice president of Hong Kong's university, mentioning that China is losing out on tax money, essentially $4 billion on Bitcoin tax money, that China probably made a bad decision on banning Bitcoin mining because they all moved to the United States. This shift has strengthened the US crypto market, a scenario Wang believes China should reconsider, especially with the potential return of Donald Trump to power, according to Crypto Portal as well. So this whole Trump scenario, if Trump does become president, if Trump, does get the votes he needs and so on, it's not, as I said previously, the Bank of International Settlements, and the International Monetary Fund, they both mentioned if America sneezes, if the American markets sneezes, the world market essentially catches a cold. The entire world's markets catch a cold if the American market sneezes. With this whole debate of Biden and Trump and who's going to get in power and who's going to become the next president of the United States, even Hong Kong is paying attention in terms of maybe China should start going back into Bitcoin mining, because if Trump becomes into power, then essentially maybe China should be going back into Bitcoin mining, because China is about to lose a lot of Bitcoin in terms of not being able to mine it. This is how far it's spreading, where Hong Kong universities and newscasters and news anchors, they're all thinking about it now. Wang spoke at the Hashkey New Vision event, emphasizing that cryptocurrency companies not interacting directly with Hong Kong citizens could still vitalize Hong Kong's crypto ecosystem. He proposed that state-owned enterprises should mine or take shares in mining operations to manage risk. China's initial embrace of cryptocurrencies led to its dominance in Bitcoin trading in 2013, fueled by cheap electricity. However, concerns over financial control led to 2017 ban on initial coin offerings, ICOs, which later escalated to a comprehensive ban on all non-government approved cryptocurrencies in September 2021. Despite the ban, cryptocurrency usage persists in China. The government has surpassed essentially crypto-related activities and removed influences from social media. However, it still recognizes cryptocurrencies as a property or commodities, allowing for taxation on transactions. Wang criticized the ban for missing out on Bitcoin and blockchain opportunities, which he initially dismissed as a scam in 2012 and 2014. He suggested that embracing crypto could benefit China, particularly within the Belt and Road Initiative. Wang also pointed out that Hong Kong's slow service pace hinders its potential to lead in the blockchain technology. China remains wary of cryptocurrencies due to concerns about capital outflows, money laundering, and financial instability. Nonetheless, the country is developing a central bank digital currency (CBDC) known as the Digital Yuan (ECNY) or ERMB, reflecting its interest in blockchain technology. Yes, not mostly so on, but in terms of CBDCs, yes, they're definitely China's going towards it. But according to quite a lot of people, China is doing the wrong move now. Is China going to possibly open its doors to cryptocurrencies? They could eventually. The more China's CBDC essentially, expands on their CBDC, the more we can potentially see China essentially opening their doors. The more people that get into CBDCs, the more likely it is China will open doors to cryptocurrencies, because they pretty much have everyone's CBDCs. Now, are they going to open the doors? Yes, I would say yes. Eventually, China is definitely going to open their doors. Now, next news to go through on tonight's live show is regarding El Salvador, essentially, and how they're educating their students on Bitcoin mining. El Salvador is not the only one essentially integrating Bitcoin or blockchain into universities and education in general, but also South Korea came out with the same news today as well, that South Korea is going to be going towards blockchain. And according to a new study test, about 40% of students in South Korea would prefer to go for crypto assets as well. And I read you a similar study test that came out of essentially New Zealand as well, where New Zealanders would rather go towards cryptocurrencies than property assets themselves. And that was according to a study test as well. So people are changing their perspectives, no matter what age group you're in, but they're changing their perspectives on the idea of cryptocurrencies quite a lot, actually. Now, you might think that's not true because people around you most likely still hate cryptocurrencies, but things are changing around the world. Now, El Salvador educates students on Bitcoin mining with ASIC. El Salvador is advancing its Bitcoin education, with students now learning about ASIC used in cryptocurrency minings. MI Premier Bitcoin, a non-governmental organization launched in 2021, recently introduced students at the Institution Noco de Delgado to those specialized essentially mining equipments. This initiative aligns with President Nayib's push for broader Bitcoin adoption inside the country, according to iBit Times. The MI Premier Bitcoin founders, John, emphasized the program's independence, essentially from the government fundings, relying on grassroots and corporate support instead. He highlighted the importance of unbiased education, allowing students form their own conclusions about Bitcoin and its potential. El Salvador, often dubbed as the Bitcoin country, became the first nation to approve Bitcoin as a legal tender back in 2021. The administration has consistently promoted Bitcoin use and recently proposed private investment banks that operate with Bitcoin. The country has also maintained a strategy of daily Bitcoin purchases, holding over 5,793 Bitcoins as of June 26. Despite the initial challenges in adopting Bitcoin, El Salvador continues to develop its crypto ecosystem, focusing on education and financial integration. This educational drive includes programs like Kobo Plus, and essentially which also teaches Bitcoin concepts supported by experts like Bitcoin core developers Luke. El Salvador's progress stance on Bitcoin aims to rejuvenate its economy and position as a leader within the global digital currency landscape as well. A lot of, in terms of education and blockchain, are mixing around the world. Hong Kong, in terms of students, are also mixing the idea of blockchain being integrated into education in Hong Kong. That happened back in 2023 as well. New Zealand was this year in terms of according to a new recent study test, all age groups in New Zealand preferably like to go to cryptocurrencies rather than assets themselves, like in terms of properties. And now El Salvador is going into education of cryptocurrencies as well. Ripple has also invested into about 9 universities around the world in terms of cryptocurrencies education. Coinbase is also investing into education as well, into some education centers and universities and colleges out there as well. So blockchain and education coming together is a beautiful mixture. Honestly, education and blockchain coming together, amazing. Honestly, to see. Is also getting prepared the next wave of students that are going to become adults, having an understanding of blockchain technology going into a digital world, because the world is changing as we're speaking right now into a digital world. With all the banks and corporations and regulations headed our way, the world is changing into a digital world. And with the next generation of students that are going to become adults going into the real world, they're going to be well prepared. They're going to be fully prepared because of the blockchain education they're getting now. So you can also see the world is shifting, definitely. Because if they integrate education, that's the next step to get the next generation ready. Now, a development that would cripple the SEC, Supreme Court decides. This is one particular news I've been waiting to share with you, which is a development that will cripple the SEC. A Supreme Court decides. Be definitely waiting for this one to share with you. So, let's look at this comment section first before I share you that news. Great to be with you all again. Let's go in, Thomas. How you doing, Thomas? How you been? Hello, everyone. New Zealand people, well up on the crypto. Let's go in. Miles, I have to head off now. Have a good day and night to everyone. Miles, I hope you stay on top of your cold. Let's go, Shelly. Shelly, have a great birthday and see you tomorrow, Shelly. Same timing as usual. Have a great birthday, Shelly. And see you tomorrow, same timing as usual. So, hope you have an amazing birthday. This is the news that I've been waiting to share with you, which is the SEC crumbling. A development that will cripple the SEC. In a landmark decision, the US Supreme Court ruled that the US Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, can no longer use in-house judges to handle securities frauds charges and impose financial penalties. The SEC is no longer allowed to be able to use their own in-handle judges in terms of a securities case, fraud charges, and impose even financial penalties. It almost seems like nobody trusts Gary Gensler or the SEC. The court ruled by a vote of 6-3 that this practice violated the constitutional right to a jury trial. Historically, the SEC used an internal process chaired by administrative law judges to address such matters. This authority was granted with the passage of Dodd-Frank Act in 2010 in response to the 2008 global financial crisis. By following the Supreme Court's decision, the SEC will now have to rely solely on federal courts to enforce securities laws and seek financial penalties. Apparently, no judge out there would trust Gary Gensler or the SEC anymore when it comes to securities cases, when it comes to imposing financial penalties. What is this reminding you of? Ripple's case. What is Gary Gensler trying to say against Ripple? Securities. What does Gary Gensler want? Essentially, financial penalties. Yeah, the judges don't trust the SEC anymore. And this is perfect timing because this case is about to come, essentially the Ripple case is about to be wrapped up. So this is perfect timing on that matter. So this decision could have far-reaching implications for other federal agencies that have historically been able to impose enforcements through internal processes, including the National Labor Relations Board, NLRB, which faces a similar predicament. Now, delivering the majority opinion, Chief Justice John Roberts said, "A defendant facing a fraud case that is the right to a trial by a jury of his or her peers before an impartial judge." Roberts criticized the dissenting opinion for allowing Congress to concentrate the roles of prosecutor, judges, and juries in the hands of executing branch, calling it the exact opposite of separation of powers required by the Constitution. Associate Justice Neal expressed the same opinion, essentially arguing that the SEC's authority to push citizens without a jury, without an independent judge, and with the procedures foreign to other courts was a violation of individual liberty. In her disorienting opinion, Associate Justice Sonia called the decision a power abusing, let's just say, and criticized the courts for telling Congress how best to structure institutions and ensure that the rights created for the governments are enforced. So, Gary Gensler and the SEC are apparently losing their powers of basically enforcing penalties. The SEC's job is to, use the law to go against people who are committing some sort of frauds and so on in terms of securities. And apparently, it's got to a stage where the SEC has abused too much of their power, and that a judge finally had enough and said that the SEC is not allowed to impose its own penalties and enforce them in any sort of a way. They would have to go through a federal judge first, and not a judge of an in-house that they normally do. No more in-house judges, no more special treatments for the SEC, according to this judge. Zero special treatment for the SEC and Gary Gensler. Yeah. Now, I did say they can't remove Gary Gensler from his position. Only the United States president essentially has the choice of removing Gary Gensler from his position. But I did say for a fact that they can make Gary Gensler's life a miserable as being the chairman of the essentially of being a chairman of the SEC. I was about to say as being a chairman of Gary Gensler, because that's what he is essentially in the SEC. It's not about the SEC, it's about Gary Gensler. But yeah, it got to a stage where this judge just had enough and said, nope, the SEC is not allowed to enforce anything anymore. They have to go through federal judges. No more special treatment for the SEC or Gary Gensler any sort of a way. We have no trust. Basically, very simple term. which is absolutely beautiful to see, honestly. Now, the next news to go through on tonight's live show, that was extremely positive, especially if you look at the timeline of where we are at right now with the Ripple and SEC case. And remember what Brad said. So Brad has spoken twice. Brad has basically spoken twice about the whole Ripple scenario. Once, Brad came out and said last year that we're going to get results not in months, but in weeks, is what Brad said. We're going to get a resolution not in months, but in weeks. And we did. Within 4 weeks, three and something weeks, 4 weeks, we got a resolution from the SEC case and Ripple case. So Brad was right when he said that the first time around. Now, again, Brad recently came out, and I showed on this live show what he said. And Brad said that this case is going to be ending sooner than you think, sooner than most people think, is what he said. He also said that it's, time frame now by summer. Once Brad spoke about a deadline on the SEC case and Ripple case, and he was on the money. He was absolutely correct on the deadline. Again, Brad has came out and said, essentially recently when I shared on this live show, that it's going to happen sooner than most people think, the resolution of this entire case, Ripple versus SEC, and keep the time frame of now until summer, because the man's been correct once. He's like Eric. They're never wrong. If you're wondering who Eric is, Bloomberg specialist ETF analyst, if you watch us for the first time. But yeah, the next news we're going to go from tonight's live show is Ripple news. But before we go through that, let's go start the comment section first. That's awesome news, Miles. Brilliant. Absolutely amazing news regarding the SEC, honestly. Wait, they were using their own judges, though? Can't make this stuff up. Just straight dirty politics. Pretty much. His name is Mud now. Yeah, honestly. If you only got 5,000, what do you put in? Personally, I would be going for financial projects. Not sort of financial advice any sort of a way. Research-wise, I would be going for the financial projects. Okay, Max, on your question of if you only got 5,000, what would you put in? Simplest answer I can give you to anyone, even for myself. If I have personally $5,000, if I have $5,000, look, the market moves by narratives. Now, everybody will tell you the narrative right now might be meme coins, or the narrative right now might be deep pin. It's none of those. The narrative of the market space we are in is extremely obvious. Right now, the market space we are in, the narrative is extremely obvious. And the narrative is institutions, banks, and regulations. Institutions is one of the narratives this time around, and it's going to stay like that for a while. Banks is the next narrative that's happening right now, and regulations. That's why I said it's extremely obvious, because more banks are partnering up with crypto spaces, more institutions are coming into play, and more regulations are on the way. So that is the three narratives going on right now. So the easiest way to do it is which crypto projects are going to be benefiting from banks, institutions, and regulations. Not to go against them, but which is going to be benefiting from them. So how you tell that is by looking at their contracts. These crypto projects, look at their contracts. Who are they partnered with? If there's a crypto project out there partnered with the Bank of International Settlements, partnered with the International Monetary Fund, partnered with a few banks, have money transfer to licensings, regulations are going to be benefiting them, going further with the institutions, have major institutional partners, then those are the crypto projects they should be going for. The narrative is more obvious than you think. Crypto influencers, not everyone, but the majority of them will tell you right now, it's about meme coins, the crypto space right now, it's about D-pins, it's about none of that. It's so obvious what the crypto space narrative is right now that if you don't see it, you must be genuinely blind. Or be, in terms of brain cells, have none. Because banks, all you hear on the news, this bank partners with this crypto project, this bank is going into tokenization, that bank is doing new contracts, that bank is going into cryptocurrencies, this bank is getting their high profile clients in the cryptocurrencies. And then you hear institutions applying for more ETF in terms of different jurisdictions around the world, institutions doing contracts with crypto platforms, institutions doing contracts with essentially cryptocurrency projects. And then you hear regulations are on the way. MICA in the Europe are coming out with regulations. United States, whole debate. They're hiring Coinbase former members. So it's so obvious what the narrative is. If you still can't see it, you should not be anywhere near the crypto. Honestly, if you can't see the narrative right now inside the crypto space, you should be nowhere near the crypto space market. Not saying, essentially, Max, you shouldn't be inside the crypto space market, but in general, if you can't see what the narrative is, and you're out here inside the crypto space saying the narrative of the crypto space is meme coins and deep pin and so on, it's got nothing to do with any of that. Institutions, banks, and regulations are the main narrative right now. So you should be going for projects that are going to benefit from banks coming in, from essentially institutions coming in, from regulations coming in. Which projects are going to benefit from these three coming in? Because these two hold the money. Banks have the money, institutions have the money, and regulations which should propel this crypto project even further. So, financial projects. What's the number one thing that spins around the world? Money is the number one thing that spins around the world. Money's about to go digital. So, XRP, XLM, XDC should be your research points. Contracts, look at them. Those three will benefit from institutions. If you hate XRP, if you don't like XRP, if you hate Ripple, first of all, you should never hate on a crypto project because it's a crypto project and grow up. Okay? Second of all, if all you care about is price action, then go inside the meme coin section. But if you care about some sort of financial freedom situations, go inside the long-term projects. Contracts. It will tell you more than you need to know about a crypto project, of how far it's going to go. So 3X's. XRP, XLM, XDC. Research. Don't ever buy anything you don't understand. Knowledge is powerful. Use it, research it. Miles, I think with only 1 to 3% of the American population investing into crypto and only 5 months left before the election, crypto won't be decision making this election. What is your opinion? It's way more than 1 to 3. Is way more than 1 to 3%. Okay, there was a study test that came out and said that essentially, and I still have the notes on that, and I'll share it on tomorrow's live show as well when I go through my notes. But it was a study test that was done inside the United States in terms of corporations, essentially, that 59% of corporations, so in general, it was about 70% of corporations that were interested in the idea of cryptocurrencies. It was about 59% of corporations that are going into research stage in terms of cryptocurrencies, and it was about 49% that was inside of cryptocurrencies, small, medium, or large amounts. So that's just from the corporation side. And then you have the citizens. America is one of the top markets in terms of cryptocurrency inflows and outflows happening around the world. So in terms of 1 to 3%, just BlackRock on its own is dominating. Just MicroStrategy on its own is about 1% of Bitcoin supply, essentially. MicroStrategy, just one company inside the United States, is about 1% of Bitcoin supply they're holding. So 1 to 3%, it's minuscule compared to what the percentage really is. Just MicroStrategy is holding about 1% of essentially Bitcoin supply in terms of cryptocurrency. And then you add the rest of the ETFs on, and then you add the rest of the citizens on, the rest of the hedge funds on, the rest of the so on and so on. It's way more. 1 to 3% is an absolute joke. It's never been on the point. Just MicroStrategy itself is holding 1% of Bitcoin's total supply. And then you have BlackRock, which is number one Bitcoin ETF. Then you have Fidelity, and then you have so on and so on and so on. And then you have essentially all the hedge funds, the family-owned businesses, essentially. When I say family-owned businesses, I'm not talking about essentially restaurants and bars. I'm talking about family-owned essentially business. So when exchanges, when essentially trading companies, want to downgrade the medium stage, they go to a family-owned type of scenario. It's a trading company essentially, that they're brokers and so on, but they're family-owned is what I mean. Not by when I say family-owned businesses, I don't mean restaurants and bars that are holding cryptocurrencies. I mean the trading companies that are family-owned. But yeah, just MicroStrategy by itself is about 1%. So way more. Sooner rather than later was the word he used. Exactly. How many projects would you invest with 15 to 20,000? comfortably 8. Look, 5 to 8, because you can go really well with 5. You can also go really well with 8. You can stretch it to 10 if you wanted to, but it's about right now pinning down your options, holding the most amount of you can on these long-term projects. But you can go up to 10 and you stretch it if you want to. It's only obvious to certain groups of people. Let's go, JP. HSBC is one of the most crypto-friendly banks right now, definitely. At the moment, crypto is at a discount, which is facts. Today, I bought the following: XLM, XRP, and Lunacy. Let's go, Thomas. And Mouse is on fire. Let's go, Ian. This is why they are using XRP, as they ploy to see how legal clarity can affect the behaviors, financial assets before XLM can truly have a surprising impact on the market. True. Okay, thanks for the correction. No problem, Feeling Forever. I'm referring to the SEC case. Good. Now, Ripple explores new horizons with RLUSD stablecoin and potential XRP ETF. So, this is also one news that I really want to share with you as well, and the one below it, which is the last one. But now, Ripple explores new horizon with RLUSD stablecoin and potential XRP ETF. Ripple's president, Monica Long, in an interview with Frank on the scope, elaborated on the company's plans to launch a US dollar stablecoin, RLUSD, and also discussed the potential of the XRP ETF. This follows a significant regulatory clarity gained from the US courts from last July concerning the XRP status, not as a security but as a commodity, Monica Long said, which has stimulated new business opportunities for Ripple in the US. Long explained that the decision to introduce a stablecoin is driven by the needs of Ripple's existing payment clients and banks, while stressing the most role of stablecoins in facilitating cost-effective, essentially efficient and transparent transactions. She explained that the USD stablecoins aim to optimize efficiency in a major payment corridors with abundant liquidity, such as USD to essentially euros in terms of transactions. In contrast, she also said XRP will continue to serve as a bridge asset, because a lot of people have the issue of why Ripple stablecoin and so on. It's completely different. They have some similarities, but it's still also majorly different. And according to Monica Long as well, even though she didn't have to make this statement because it is quite obvious that XRP is still in play. In contrast, XRP will continue to serve as a bridge asset, particularly in more costly and less liquid payment corridors. Ripple to go beyond payments and broader blockchain solutions. She also underscored that this stablecoin will complement XRP in the Ripple's ecosystem, which serves as a different needs in the payment landscape in terms of XRP, stablecoin development, with Ripple's leveraging its robust partnerships and regulatory compliance to ensure that the new offering is accepted and trusted inside the market. Ripple is aiming beyond payments and broader blockchain solutions for enterprise. Ripple's president explained the strategic shift as the team has identified new opportunities for Ripple to be a holistic enterprise blockchain infrastructure provider. This includes enabling financial institutions to engage in activities like real-world asset tokenizations and providing end-to-end infrastructure for various financial services. The possibility of an Ethereum ETF, she also talked about that as well. The possibility of an the possibility of an XRP ETF. In regards to the potential US spot XRP ETF, Monica Long also stressed upon the impact of legal clarification of XRP status and noted that with the clarified legal status of XRP as a non-security and a sustained high trading volumes, the prospects of launching an ETF appears logical for XRP. She also asserted that the court rulings from last year makes the case for XRP an ETF even stronger. The case that's happening right now makes it even stronger. Makes it a lot more stronger. So, Monica Long, once again, coming out to put random debates inside the XRP community space to rest pretty much, stating that XRP plays a major role going forward and XRP ETFs are on the way, and that the case that's going on with the SEC is actually going to propel XRP even further and inside essentially the ETF space, which I agree with everything she said, because all spewing facts. Every single thing she said was absolute facts. It is actually going to be complementing XRP. XRP is still going to be playing a bridge asset role, and that XRP ETFs are also on the way. These are all things that I've said personally myself. even though other people inside the crypto space would have said, no, XRP won't be used, the stable coin is going to take its place, and so on and so on. It just shows the level of IQ someone has when they thought that, even for a second, that Ripple's stablecoin is going to play a bigger role than XRP itself. It shows the level of IQ you have, and it's pretty much none. If you were, somebody that was inside the crypto space, that's perfectly fine. But if you're a crypto influencer, you're supposed to be, sharing some sort of knowledgeable news. So if you're a crypto influencer and you've been saying for all this time that Ripple's stablecoin is going to beat XRP, there's no point of an XRP, and you're a crypto influencer saying this, then you should be the one sharing the knowledge. So if you're sharing this kind of, spewing lies and BS, it shows that you have no knowledge, and therefore you should not be sharing any information. If you were this person stating that Ripple stablecoin is going to, overtake XRP, there's no point of XRP. And if you're a crypto influencer saying this, then it shows your level of knowledge, and it's pretty much none. Shouldn't share any information with anyone, to be very honest. But if you are, a person inside the crypto space, studying the crypto space, it's perfectly fine if you're misguided for a split second. Now, S&P. S&P Global. This news I'm about to share you, incredibly major news. Incredibly major news. S&P Global, the S&P Global, joins Singapore's Project Guardian tokenization. The S&P Global joins Singapore's Project Guardian for tokenization trials. The S&P Global is joining tokenization. But before we go through this news, let's go start the comment section first. Now, this is why they are using XRP as a ploy to see how legal clarity can affect the behaviors of financial assets before XRP. Honestly, okay, thanks for the question. New Broom, I'm referring to SCs. Yep. MEXC is telling people to get funds off of not KYC. I have LAT, nowhere else to move it if it in states. Thoughts, still have positive outlook for LAT. I still do have a positive outlook for LAT. And if you want to hold your LAT somewhere else, LAT has their own platform. LJ, direct message me on X. LJ, direct message me on X. I'll send you a link to essentially LAT's own wallet. They have their own wallet. Platon wallet is theirs. Direct message me on X. I'll send you a link for LAT to keep it on their own wallets if you want. Hey Mouse, is Polkadot Adder Bridge together? Is Polkadot Adder Bridge together? Yes, it's on the way. Yes, they are. Let's go, Mouse, on the CMF. Let's go, Ian. Mouse, you really did come back today. Mouse, you really did come back today. Let's go, Camel. Let's go, tokenizations. What kind of crypto assets will CoinMove accept? CoinMove is going to accept pretty much any type of crypto assets that has surface value. So in terms of the old British saying, which is money long, which basically means money is money. So in terms of Coinbase, in terms of CoinMove, I'm going to be accepting all types of cryptocurrencies that hold certain value. So obviously no random projects, but any sort of crypto projects that hold value, we're going to be accepting at CoinMove. Now, this is some major news here. S&P Global joins Singapore's Project Guardian tokenization trials. S&P Global Ratings is the latest institution to join the Monetary Authority of Singapore, MAS, massive Project Guardian. The 2-year-old project examines the role asset tokenizations can play in the liquidity and efficiency of financial markets. Project Guardian seeks to establish standards and policy guidelines and to develop essentially commercially oriented digital asset ecosystems. S&P Global will participate in fixed income pilot projects. S&P Digital Assets Identical Analytics, led by Andrew O'Neill, said in a statement, "We aim to bring our risk perspectives and insights to this forum to support robust risk mitigations as this technology is applied inside the financial markets." Massive, honestly. Project Guardian offers S&P essentially a lot to look at. Within the fixed income pilots, institutions are conducting essentially foreign exchange and bond transactions against liquidity pools of tokenized bonds and currencies. They are also carrying out repurchase agreements with digital bonds on developing a listing framework for debit securities and initial token offerings for digital tokens offered on the Singapore exchange. The project, the projects and other essential workflows are wealth managements and foreign exchanges on public blockchains. Public blockchains. With an eye towards network interoperability, the project is using a modular network model for four components. Project Guardian was launched by the Monetary Authority of Singapore (MAS) in May 2022, with JP Morgan, DBS Bank, SGX Ventures, Market Nodes as initial participants. S&P Global becomes the 24th member of the Project Guardian Industry Group, which is made up of the prominently large banks and asset managers. The Policymakers Group consists of government bodies from the United Kingdom, Japan, Singapore, Switzerland, and France, as well as the International Monetary Fund. There is also three member international association groups. Project Guardian prioritizes tokenization. As a part of Project Guardian, JP Morgan executed a live cross-border transaction in November 2022 using tokenized Singapore dollars and Japanese yen on the Polygon blockchain. It was the first major bank to carry out decentralized finance trades on public blockchain. One of the innovations to come out of the project is the deposit token, a form of stablecoin issued by regulated and adequately supervised intermediaries. The Swiss Bankers Association and JP Morgan have found advantages in the deposit token for their stability as a way to integrate central bank digital currencies into the traditional banking system. Now, the test that they've done a very, very, very long time ago was on Polygon for the first time ever, but they haven't stuck with Polygon. They've expanded their range and chose something else. They were doing test payments to see what essentially works. The one that they came out with the news was Polygon. But they didn't come out with the news of we've partnered with Polygon and we're going to be using Polygon. But they came out with the news on the test payments. So, S&P Global going towards tokenization, doing it through Singapore. Who has lead role in Singapore? And who's working with the International Monetary Fund? And who's also, according to Monica Long, CEO of Ripple, mentioned that Ripple is heavily in tokenizations. Ripple has green lights all over Singapore, have licenses in Singapore, and also through their subsidiary in Singapore, sell XRP to institutions. And they're also working with the bank, they're working with the International Monetary Fund as well on the side. So that one should be interesting on why they're doing it through Singapore. Coincidence or coordinated should be the real question here. And you might be thinking to yourself, well, they clearly said Polygon, but if you really think about it, JP Morgan uses Ethereum for pretty much everything they do, but not that particular day. They use Polygon. They're just doing test payments back then, 2022. 2023 crosses, 2024 crosses, they've done some major investments. Now, that in itself is amazing news and extremely bullish news in terms of Singapore, and also the last news on tonight's live show as well. So, if you enjoyed this live show, drop a follow, drop a like, and tune into it every single night. So, on tonight's live show, we went through Singapore and the S&P Global. We went through Ripple, exploring new horizons. We talked about the development that could cripple the SEC. We talked about El Salvador and other countries in terms of education of blockchain. We talked about time for China to reconsider its cryptocurrency bindings. We also talked about Wall Street embracing altcoins in terms of other ETFs are on the way. We talked about the former Coinbase advisor joining essentially Biden. We talked about SUI essentially going into institutions. We talked about BlackRock's essentially funding their own operations, acquiring their own BTC ETFs. We also talked about MicroStrategy launching an AI-driven system, expanding beyond Bitcoin. We talked about Vitalik Buterin talking about Mega ETH. We talked about Galaxy Digital essentially exploring into more avenues in terms of different ETFs. We talked about Chainlink streaming their data on Avalanche. We talked about also on tonight's live show regarding Coinbase, and maybe they're compromised, maybe they're not in terms of Coinbase data. We also talked about Solana getting support essentially for WorldCoin's ID. We talked about Trump and Biden administration as well. So we covered a mixture on tonight's live show regarding the presidential debate, regarding the Biden administration, and regarding how moronic it is, but also regarding the crypto news, regarding the amazing announcements that's just been made, regarding the institutional news that we went from, informative news and perspective news. If you enjoyed this live show, drop a follow, drop a like, and tune into it every single night. What time in EU is the debate? I don't know about the EU time, but if you check on Google, it should tell you. I don't know about the U time. I know about the US times around 9 p.m. But if you enjoyed this live show, drop a follow, drop a like, and tune into it every single night. And I'm so happy that I'm back. I genuinely enjoyed doing this live show, as I always do, doing every single live show. And I'm extremely happy that I'm back. And I missed every single one of you, to be fairly honest. This is why using, yeah, I think I went too high up. Let's see where I was. You can use LA to begin, yep. Hi, Mouse. If what Chillzone said is pretty much correct, yep. Hi, Mouse. If we keep LAT on their hot wallet, we still need to off ramp via an exchange. If cash out, yes, you still need to do that regarding exchange. MXC stop UK customers to buy crypto. Coordinated Mouse. Let's go in. Good night, Miles, and all CMF. Thank you for all the news. Great to be back on the live. Let's go, JP. Good night, brother. Can't see you tomorrow. Sometimes usually as well. Good night, Mike. Thank you, Miles. Take care and see you tomorrow. Mike, see you tomorrow, brother. Sometimes usually as well. And Count, check on Google regarding EU debate time. Good night, Miles and family. Brilliant live. Thanks for all you do. Respect. Let's go, Ian. Great to have back. Great to have you back, Miles. Countdown to the debate begins. Take care all and have a great one. Ray, see you tomorrow, sometimes usual as well. Thank you a bunch, Miles, and let's do you all. Lena, see you tomorrow, sometimes usual as well. We appreciate you, Miles. Let's go, LJ. XDC or ACH, good to see you back. Good to see you back as well, TZ. XDC. But ACH is a great project as well. Thank you, Miles. Have a great one. Have a great trip. Carol, let's go. See you tomorrow, sometimes usual as well. Glad to see you again, Miles. Good night, Miles, and all CMF. Free forever. See you tomorrow, sometimes usual as well. Thanks, Miles. Stormy, let's go. Stormy, see you tomorrow, sometimes usual as well. I will see everybody tomorrow, same time as usual. Everybody have a great day and a good night, depending on where you are around the world, CMF. If you're tuning in to this live show for the first time ever, on this live show, talk about cryptocurrency, CBDCs, law, perspectives, opinions from executives, and we also do Q&As as well, live Q&As. So if you enjoy this live show, you can tune into it every single night and get involved in the comment section. And we have a Telegram group as well, which is completely free. Everything I provide is completely free of source because education needs to be free. And I'm so happy I'm back. Missed every single one of you. I will see everybody tomorrow, same time as usual. Everybody have a great day or a good night, depending on where you are around the world. Miles, good to have you back. Good to have you back. In addition, thanks for another brilliant live stream again. Let's go, Thomas. Thanks so much for the kind words. I'll see everybody tomorrow, same time as usual. Everybody have a great day or a good night, depending on where you are around the world. Damn, I missed it. I'll catch it up in the morning. Thanks, Miles. For the XRP, no problem. See you tomorrow, same time as usual. Go Trump. Let's go, JP. I'll see everybody tomorrow, same time as usual. Everybody have a great day or a good night, depending on where you are around the world. CMF, see you tomorrow, same time as usual.